question, but we really value what we want to see more than probably what we can say we have injected in, because some of the investment in this might not be quantifiable. You do not know how much people have, adjusted their programs for this to happen. So you cannot quantify that, for example. So it is very important to see what value are we creating as opposed to how much have you put in. It might not be very relevant. And then the other thing is, what is unique? I remember you asked that question. What is unique that we are bringing on board? The Hunger Project has done this. I don't think the Hunger Project has done exactly what we are doing. And so for me, I see that there's a lot of new lessons to learn, something new to see, something new to experience. And I think another person asked the same question. Yes, we have done caravans before in different projects. And I think when we see the value of the caravan, that's why we say, hey, we can do it again and again and again, because we see it helps farmers to learn from each other, to understand that is actually possible. I think the gentleman from the East African Watch asked the question of market. Farmers have what to sell, but they don't know how to do it. They actually don't know how to get the market. And when we go into this kind of activity, it helps the farmers know how to market what they have. So this is the real essence of the caravan, not just for the sake of getting farmers here and go there for the sake of touring, but they have reasons and they have very important benefits they can pick from the caravan, including getting market for what they produce. Thank you very much.
Yes, I would like to add on what Mr. Francis has highlighted to answer the question of market. During the caravan, we are going to be conducting the Meet Africa's Farmers Campaign. Sorry. So during the caravan, we are going to be conducting the Meet Africa's Farmers Campaign. This campaign, basically what we are doing is to gather voices from different farmers to understand from the project which organic farming practices have they adopted and have they been successful, and anyway, if they require any support, how best can the project support them. But besides bringing out the support issue, we want to find out which markets are their products being sold to. So yes, we are handling the caravan, but within the caravan we have a campaign, though it's a bit silent. It will be tackling some of those issues in line with linking farmers to the right markets. The other question that was raised, what are the expected results from the caravan?
Well, like I said, like I said, the caravan, what we expect out of it is one, we are building capacity. So we shall have farmers capacity built in areas of organic agriculture. But also, like they've highlighted, some of the farms we are visiting do marketing of, they export actually these products. So one, they will have contacts of, such farms where probably they can, farm and then sell to these farms for export. But then also we are saying we are building capacity of the farmers in the areas of organic agriculture, and also the networking part of it. Of course, networking is, like someone was asking, we've not talked about the markets. The markets are in there because one, the fact that when you get these exposures to the different farms, and we are very sensitive on which farms we are highlighting, we are bringing on board for the farmers to benefit from. Those many of them were farms that are doing commercial organic products. So I believe at the end of that day, the farmers will benefit in terms of know where to sell what at which farm. Yeah, and then of course the networking there. Yes.
Maybe I can answer that. One, as a seasoned journalist, you know that we don't yet have a law that is regulating the use of GMOs in Uganda. So officially there are no GMOs on farmers in farmers' fields in Uganda. The GMOs they are still at research stage, and the bill is still being discussed in Parliament. You're all aware of the processes. So we are not doing this as a reactionary approach due to the increase in GMOs, because there are GMOs are not yet around. Why we are doing this is because we believe, just like the government of Uganda, and I'll tie this to the colleague asked about the direction of the government. You all know that the government of Uganda passed a policy on the national organic agriculture, or the national organic agriculture policy. This is because there is a strong conviction that one of the pathways for transforming Uganda's local communities, Uganda's farming systems, and improving the lives of the people is through organic agriculture. So this is one way of ensuring that there is enough knowledge and exposure of the farmers, of the champion farmers, to what is happening out there. Okay? Because, and I want to point this, that organic agriculture is very commercial in nature. It is not in any way subsistence. It uses a lot of science, integrates indigenous knowledge, but is focusing on the natural environment where the farming is taking place. And that way, you have sustainability. We don't want a situation where we are developing through agriculture at the expense of the natural resources, at the expense of the environment, at the expense of people's health. So that is why this project is coming in strongly, especially in the area of strengthening knowledge. Because knowledge is the source, that is what we're going to base on to be able to scale out organic agriculture. Thank you very much.
Do we have organized farmers, or we are ambushing everyone we find? Very good question. No, we are not ambushing everyone we find. We are organized. We work with member organizations in Uganda, and they are 64 in number. Okay, 66 to date, 66 member organizations. And these member organizations support farmers at grassroots. And so the farmers we are going to meet are organized. We are not ambushing people in their villages. We know where we are going and who we are meeting. And we know who we want to connect to who. So that is the networking that we want to create. That is the community of practice that we want to create within our organized farmers. And then the second question, you said that you see organic agriculture looks expensive. Very good choice of words. Looks what? Because that is what you said. It doesn't necessarily mean that it is expensive, because you said it looks like expensive. So you do not have evidence that is expensive. And that is the myth we want to clear from the communities. Organic agriculture is not expensive, because we have done it. The farmers we are talking about have done it, and we don't see it expensive. We only need to now create that knowledge. There is a gap. People do not know, and we want to create knowledge and, cover that gap and address the myths and misconceptions in the communities about organic agriculture. I'll tell you that if you think education is expensive, try ignorance. Don't you know this? They always say it. It's an old adage. So does it mean that education is actually expensive? The answer is no. It's actually cheaper to be educated than to be ignorant, isn't it? Yes. So this is the exact idea about organic agriculture. If you do not know, you might think it's expensive, but it's actually very cheap. Thank you very much, Julius.
And maybe just to supplement something very small. Thank you, Julius. Actually, it's the first time I've had that notion that organic agriculture is expensive, because one, you're substituting the things that you would have bought in the shops, and now you can actually make them on your own farm, especially if you're using an integrated system. So it is not expensive. It is actually the quickest way for the most vulnerable and the most poor people to transform from peasant to commercialized agriculture, using locally available resources in a sustainable way. That is why we are pushing for organic agriculture, because we are targeting those that cannot afford what you're calling let's say the synthetic inputs, the inputs that are that are manufactured somewhere. They have to be imported, in You have to buy them maybe in Kampala. You get that. Organic agriculture is, first of all, knowledge intensive. That's why he's saying knowledge is very, very important. Almost most of the things that you need in organic agriculture, you can do them if you know how. So knowledge is very, very important. And that matter, validated knowledge, scientific knowledge. So I wanted to settle that. And yeah, I think the rest has been settled by my colleague.